Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Lewis. In this channel, we talk all things engineering, technology, and finance. In today's video, we're going to talk about Thunderbolt technology, why it's important to have Thunderbolt technology inside your PC, and what are some of the things you can do with Thunderbolt. One of the great things about Thunderbolt 3 or 4 is a single port and cable for connecting power and all your favorite accessories. So here we have a Type-C cable, and this Type-C cable can be used in order to connect all things. Simplicity, a reliable connection because it supports up to 40 gigabits per second, and you have maximum performance that you can see out of that. So if we scroll down a little bit, one of the great things that you can see here is that it supports many different protocols. So you have DisplayPort, PCI Express, USB, Thunderbolt, all is combined together into one cable. And as we mentioned before, you have 40 gigabits per second. And as you can see in the document here, that applies for both Thunderbolt 3 and Thunderbolt 4. In order to make sure that your laptop has Thunderbolt, you want to make sure you look for this icon. This icon will typically be on laptops, it'll be on the cables, it'll be on all the devices that support Thunderbolt. And as we scroll down, you can see here what a typical setup would be. We have our laptop with our Thunderbolt connector going into the docking station, and it's able to power up monitors with USB keyboard and mouse, which was really cool. And as we scroll down some more, you can see here that it offers one of the fastest data transfer speeds. With Thunderbolt 4, you can have features such as waking up your laptop from a keyboard and mouse. There's enhanced security. And one of the really cool features that I enjoy about Thunderbolt technology is the flippable and reversible cable. If you remember from USB days when you were plugging in, say, a mouse or a USB thumb drive, you always plug it in wrong and it only goes in one way. And it's really annoying when you get that connection wrong the first time. Whereas with Thunderbolt, it doesn't matter how you connect it. You just connect it and that's the end of that. Really awesome. Here we have some fun facts about using Thunderbolt technology. As you can see here, some of the more notable items are you can have two 4K displays that have nearly 16 million more pixels than an HD TV. You can transfer 3 hours of 4K GoPro footage in less than a minute. And one of the other ones that sticks out the most is there's 300 hours of video that are uploaded to YouTube every minute. This technology can transfer that data in less than 20 seconds. There's other items here that you can take a look and read, but how incredible is that technology? 300 hours of video can be transferred in 20 seconds. Now that is an incredible use of this technology. Let's talk about the problem that Thunderbolt technology solves. Here in my hand is a laptop that you may see on the channel a couple times. This is my HP Spectre 360, and it's quite impressive how I can hold this much computing power in my hand, whereas when I was a teen or earlier on, this wasn't even a thing. And so the problem becomes is as our workforce becomes more mobile and has more computing power in their hands, how do you turn a mobile computing platform into a desktop? For example, we need monitors, we need keyboard and mouse connected to it, we need, say, any peripherals such as external hard drives, so on and so forth. You can start to see how this can become cumbersome, lugging around dual monitors, keyboards, mouse, and so on and so forth. So Thunderbolt technology allows you to take one cable, and that one cable is what we're going to use in order to dock, for example, this laptop, and it turns into a full-blown desktop computing experience. Now let's take a look at a docking station that we can use in order to help showcase some of the benefits of Thunderbolt technology. Let's take a look at what comes with our StarTech. Now stay with me here. TB3 CDK 2DH dual 4K Thunderbolt 3 docking station. That's quite a mouthful there. So Here we have our dual 4K docking station Thunderbolt 3. Here we have our cable. So this is our Thunderbolt 3 cable that connects to the docking station to the host machine. We have the power brick in order to connect to the docking station to provide power, and as well we have the US plug and international plug. These guys, depending on what region you live in, connects to your power brick, which then connects to your docking station. So now that we have those items out of the way, let's take a look at how we connect these things. Before we get started on connecting it, one item that you are going to need that is not included in the box are DisplayPort cables. So you're gonna need 2 of them, and they look as such. Not to be confused with HDMI, but this is going to be a connection using DisplayPorts. Make sure you don't forget them, as we're gonna need them in order to make the connections necessary to get this dock set up. And as always, link will be in the description below. First step in making sure our connections are correct, we are going to assemble the power brick that comes with the docking station. And after we're done assembling the power brick, we are going to connect it to the docking station. So in my particular case, since we are in the US, we're going to use the US plug. So let's go ahead and take this US plug and connect it to our power brick. Once we've connected our US plug to the power brick, we're gonna go ahead and plug this guy into the docking station. Just like so. Next step in the process is make sure that we take our power cord and plug it into power. Next step in the process is to connect our videos. So as we recall from before, we are using DisplayPort. So we are gonna make our first connection into DisplayPort 1, just like so. And we're gonna make our second connection to DisplayPort 2. Just like so. And remember, we're using 2 monitors, so therefore we need 2 connectors. Next step is to connect both power and video to monitor 1. So here we have our power for our monitor, and we have our DisplayPort, which is our video for monitor 1. All set with monitor 1. Next step is to repeat the same step for connecting power and video to our second monitor. So here we have power. We'll come under here. Power is all set. And here's our DisplayPort for video for monitor 2. All set there. Next step is to plug in Ethernet. Now, in some cases where folks will use Wi-Fi, this step is not necessary. But if you do have Ethernet for your internet, go ahead and plug that in now. Next step is to plug in any peripherals you may use. In my case, I have a wireless keyboard and mouse, both made by Logitech. Here is their USB adapter, and we're gonna go ahead and plug that in now. Next step is to connect our docking station to our host machine. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Thunderbolt cable. One end is gonna go to our Thunderbolt port for the host machine in the front of the docking station. The other end of the cable is gonna go to our host machine. In this case, I'm using an HP Spectre 360 in order to connect my Thunderbolt port to the docking station. So let's go ahead and make that connection. As you can see, with the Thunderbolt 3 docking station plugged into my HP Spectre 360, we have turned my laptop now into a desktop configuration where you can have dual monitors set up, as well as any peripherals connected to increase productivity in your workflow. So not only did you see the Thunderbolt docking station work with the HP Spectre 360 on one setup, let's take a look at another cool feature where you can actually have multiple Thunderbolt docking station and go between setup to setup, which is really, really cool. We have our Thunderbolt 3 docking station. So now we're gonna go use a separate computer, an HP Spectre 360, another one. Let's go ahead and plug that in. As you can tell, with one connection, you have both displays working at the same time with all peripherals. We just saw how Thunderbolt technology in docking stations are useful, where you can go from setup to setup, where you don't have to worry about plugging in multiple monitors, keyboards, mices, etc. One cable does the job when going from setup to setup. Now also let's take a look if you have different laptops. And this is one of the other great features if you have multiple people in your home that have Thunderbolt technology built into their laptop. You don't have to worry about setting up different setup stations for them. You all can share the same resources. As you can see here, I have a Lenovo laptop with a Thunderbolt port, and plugging that in allows me to have a full setup without having to set up or arrange anything. And not only am I able to have all my peripherals available to me, but I'm also able to have the monitors working and powering the laptop at the same time. We just took a look at one of the most useful technologies that I've seen in quite some time, which is Thunderbolt. Not only did we look at how it solves a particular problem, we also took a look at a particular docking station and how we can connect that docking station to our laptop in order to power our peripherals, monitors, in order to have a full desktop experience. We also took a look at how we can have multiple setups, which is really cool when you're going from setup to setup within your home. And if you have multiple people in your home that have Thunderbolt technology, we also took a look at different laptops that are able to connect to that Thunderbolt docking station. Very, very useful and helpful technology. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Also, if you know anybody who can benefit from this video and how they can learn about Thunderbolt technology and implement it in their home or business, make sure you share the video with them, as we can help out more people by sharing the content. We'll see you on the next video.